There are moments when Sabine Zaitouni gets homesick for France. For example, when she's shopping. Sabine moved to London from Paris with her husband and 3 children last summer. She's a practicing Jew and says it's harder to find kosher supermarkets in the English capital. In Paris, they were practically in front of her door.
The kosher food is not far from the house, because you can find a kosher shop in all of quarter of Paris.
But Sabine feels at home in London. She says her family feels safer here than they did in Paris. The abhorrent terror attacks in the French capital last November confirmed her worst fears. Sabine and her family decided to move to London half a year earlier, after the massacre at the office of the satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo and the killings in a Jewish supermarket.
I think when you are Jewish in France, it's not good. You can't go outside with a kippah or with a sign you are Jewish. I'm afraid to go in the street with my children with the kippah on the head. My children haven't future in Paris.
Orthodox Jews are just as visible as Muslims on London's streets. The capital has a reputation for tolerance. And many French expats are attracted by the melting pot lifestyle. Israeli-born Moto Kameli's kosher cheesecake is a big seller in the mainly Jewish area of Golders Green.
I tell you, in the French it was very, very good patisserie, I know, but the French people say it's very nice here. Give me compliments, so we know exactly what's going on here in France. A lot of them come here and a lot of them go to Israel as well.
Religious service on Friday evening, the Jewish Sabbath. Worshippers have their bags checked before entering the synagogue. Security in central London is a serious issue. The Jewish community here in St John's Wood is making a big effort to welcome newcomers. This year they've arranged for the service to be held in English, Hebrew and French. That makes service-goers like David feel at home.
We have been very warmly welcomed in this community, and it was a surprise for us that an office would be organized in French and that they hired a French rabbi. But it's very nice.
Every 2 weeks, Rabbi René comes here especially from Lyon to lead the service.
France is not hell, so I think it's very important to say this. People live, they go to work, they engage with each other, we talk with the other communities, but I think we're still recovering from what happened in Paris in January and November.
David and his family moved from Paris to London 1.5 years ago. The PR expert is able to commute between the 2 capitals for his job, thanks to easy train connections. David thinks France has a habit of sweeping problems with anti-Semitism under the carpet. He likes the way England has dealt with the matter in the past, like when citizens' initiatives prevented neo-Nazi demonstrations from taking place in Jewish neighborhoods.
The government care a little bit more about it and take it at its roots. When there are some problems, the police intervenes, the government intervenes I think, for what I read, at an earlier stage than in France.
Fear of right-wing extremists and the Front National is driving many French Jews to leave the country. A few of Sabine Zaitouni's friends have already sold their property just to be on the safe side, should they feel the need to leave the country quickly.
I think if the situation didn't change, the extremists will grow up in France, not in 5 years, but in 10 years or in 20 years, we don't know. And the extremists is not good for the Jewish.
Sabine has no regrets. She feels safer in London, and on top of that, her children will grow up bilingual, something which should help them in the future. Holidays, though, are still spent in Paris because there's really nothing like home.